Prior to my first conscious out-of-body experiences, I was experiencing two anomalies. The first was a tightness or tension or pain at the back of my head, top of the neck. The other were getting hot feet, most especially going into the night. These two things were accompanied by a recurring dream, a very precise recurring dream that would happen periodically at times and then a lot at other times. These things happened for a decade prior to my first conscious out-of-body. During this wait time in my physical matter reality, I was also experiencing my range of vision expanding. It took me almost the whole decade to even realize this was happening, because it never occurred to me that I was seeing anything out of the norm. It didn't occur to me that I was seeing anything that other people didn't see. But for instance, I began seeing the particles that compose space and everything we visually see. I began seeing these snowflake-like formations of brightly colored light through people's physical structure. Many other things as well. 360 vision here, and again, other things. But again, it didn't strike me as odd. In fact, very little ever did strike me as odd. So it took me the whole decade to even begin realizing it. I began waking up in the night for just moments into these strong electrical currents flowing through my body. And it took this happening a few times in the course of a week for this to begin staying at the front of my awareness. It had happened previously, but it just went right to the back of my mind and got forgotten. This week, because it happened so many times in the course of the same week, it stayed to the front. I began to see an association with the hot feet. I began putting these things out to people that I knew in my physical reality. And through the process of bringing this all the way through into the physical reality, I had my first conscious out-of-body experience. With the first conscious out-of-body experience, my central nervous system went into shock. It stayed in shock for a couple years. The first year was the strongest. It started to calm down over the course of the second year. But if I were to begin relaying any of this to anyone, my whole body would shake. And again, that lasted for about a year. 2 years, really. The main thing at first in relation to my out-of-bodies were the shifts. I had fully conscious shifts and was let to witness, or was taken in to witness, the internal workings of the shift itself. I would feel a highly tangible presence merge with me. I'd feel an atmospheric change in pressure and witness myself slowly stop breathing until I was no longer in this physical matter reality, until I was either in the void or in another physical reality, another visual landscape, not this one. Once I was able to hold the fundamental awareness of this internal working of the shift. I was let to experience many frequencies of vibration. I was let to experience many different types of shifts. The two main types of shifts were the process of dematerializing and rematerializing. And after a while, this became fun. The second was being helped out by other entities. And I could see how all of this fit together. I could see how these first things, the internal workings and the dematerializing and rematerializing, were simply the internal structure of this experience, and that the entities coming to help me out were the way I was visualizing and experiencing the internal workings, the internal process. But I'm able to hold simultaneous awareness of these processes. And because of this, I know, I see, I experience that there is work being done within my biological structure while I'm being taken out into these other reality systems, into these other visual realities, these other dimensions. It's the void experiences I've been let to have that help me not go into too much fear about this, because I'm let to see from the void how my visual realities are created from the withinness of my own being. So it's less likely for me to go into fear about that. I know it's somewhere from within myself that all of this is happening and taking place. It often is the ETs that help me out. The majority of my experiences right now currently are ET contacts, but they're also visits into future probabilities, merging with other lifetimes, projecting into my own biological structure and witnessing the work being performed there. And sort of in relation to that, the newest thing, beings are attempting to speak through my vocal cords while I'm asleep. More and more, I'm being brought lucid to the fact that this is happening. Where is all this going? We'll see.